Hello and good evening, hockey fans. Welcome back into the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Adam Karnick and Zach Puplis back with you together tonight. Lots that we'll be going over. A ton of games going on right now live here on this Tuesday night. We will keep you updated on all of them, between the Flyers and the Ducks, Canadians, Jets, all kinds of fun things going on, plus some games that are about to be dropping the puck. We'll keep you up to date on all those. And we've got stories for tonight. The Seattle Kraken, this little expansion team, look at them setting records out here in the NHL. It's fantastic. Road Warriors back on the road tonight. They've got a big one tonight. We'll be talking about that. A more recent expansion team, Vegas, well, they had one of their former players with some not so great off-ice news this past week. We will be discussing Robin Lehner and his unfortunate financial situation. Then the hockey world mourned late last week the passing of Gino Odjick, former enforcer, best known for the Vancouver Canucks. We'll break that down and discuss Wayne Gino Odjick a little bit. Finally, in women's collegiate hockey, a score that you've got to see to believe. All that and more coming right up. This is the Neutral Zone. Hello, everyone, and good evening. Welcome back into another Tuesday night edition of the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Adam Karnick here with you. Zach Puplis is with us as well. Zach, how are you doing, my man?
I'm fantastic, Adam. How are you?
Oh, hanging in there, keeping busy. You know, the life of a dad is never dull.
Yep.
Oh, well, we have got lots to get through tonight. Looking through at the scoreboard tonight, we've got 6 games going on right now, 2 more that are set to drop the puck here any minute now, plus all kinds of stories. We got ourselves a busy show tonight.
We do indeed.
All right, and let's dive in. Of course, before we go too far into everything, of course, we do need to let everybody know and get through our homework, if you will, here on the show. IE Sports Radio been around now for the last almost 9 years. Been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. All the while, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and with your help, we are ready to take the next step. When you go to our website, iesportsradio.com, you'll see our Patreon link with 5 different tiers. The first one starts at just $5 a month. This donation gets you a shout-out on every one of our shows. Higher tiers include IE Sports Radio merchandise, access to our podcasting university, and even a chance to be featured on a segment of our flagship show, The Defining Moment. Thank you all very much for continuing to make IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports. And want to shout out our 4 Patreon supporters right now: Bay Area Raised, Emlos Great, Key to the Gate, and Anonymous. Thank you very much for your continued support of not only this show, but of the entire station at IE Sports Radio. We really do appreciate it. You can follow along with IE Sports Radio on all of the major social platforms at IE Sports Radio. That works for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or our website. It's all right there for you at IE Sports Radio. This show is available for you also on Twitter. We are at IESR Neutral Zone, or you can follow along with each one of us individually. I am at Adam_Karnick. Zach is at The Puplis. And if you are listening live here on Tuesday night on Spreaker, hop on into the chat. We find Taryn Rodriguez is there. We can bounce back and forth and interact and have some fun that way. Or if you're listening later on as a podcast, or you just want to sit back and listen, thanks for being here. That's the important part. All right, Zach. So, where would you like to start? I imagine with just going through the games that are in action right now and setting the table for the rest of the night.
Sure, yeah, I can go through the slate.
Fire away.
Canadians are up on Jets 3-1 in the third period. Flyers are up on the Ducks 4-1 in the third.
Sorry, Taryn.
Panthers and Maple Leafs are in a barn burner 4-3 Panthers. End of the second. Wild and Capitals are also in a offensive shootout 3-2. 12:07 left in the third. Blue Jackets and Predators just started 0-0. Just started in the second period anyways. And Sabres and Blackhawks are tied 1-1 in the first, with Red Wings and Coyotes set to come tonight at 9, and Kraken and Oilers as well at 9 o'clock. No joke, that is a big one coming up for the Kraken tonight.
Yeah, and that's a perfect spot to start, actually, looking at Kraken Oilers, because that game in and of itself is a monster game. Believe it or not, can you believe this? Looking at the standings currently, Seattle is in front of Edmonton.
What?
I know, right? Had I told you before the season that the Seattle Kraken would be 5 points in front of Edmonton halfway through the season, plus they have 2 games in hand, what would your response have been?
I would not have guessed that at all. They're only 2 points behind Vegas, so they're in second place in the Pacific.
They're coming on hot and strong overall. Just looking at the team as a whole at the moment, you've got Andrei Burakovsky and Matty Beniers tied with 36 points each. McCann has come on. He just had his first NHL hat trick here a little bit ago against my Blackhawks. Go figure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jared McCann has got 22 goals right now, 30 points overall. He's on a bit of a tear. And this team as a whole, the big news, of course, was against, they formally and officially got it against, again, my Blackhawks. They set an NHL record. They had a 7-game road trip. They not only did they, get lots of points, they got 14 points. They swept the 7-game road trip. That had never been done in NHL history. And listen to some of these teams that they beat. They beat Edmonton. They beat Toronto. They beat Buffalo. They shut out Boston. And they also beat the Senators, the Canadiens, and the Blackhawks. Those three are a little bit more expected.
Yeah, especially beat Boston. Holy crap. Shutting them out even.
Yeah, shut out the Boston Bruins 3-0. That was the 6th game of the road trip.
Well, we have said, could be a potential Stanley Cup contender if it comes the end of the year. I mean, it feels like they're on a collision course to get there.
Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden the Seattle team, you know, you look at it, they're 26, 13 and 4, 56 points, and it's not like they're getting lucky here. They've got a goal differential of plus 25. They are absolutely crushing it on the road. Yes, okay, they had the 7-game road trip where they went perfect. But even if we take that out of it, they were 9-4-2 on the road before the 7-game road trip. Now they're 16-4-2 on the road. That's remarkable. That's absolutely remarkable to be that far over 500 on the road. You know, that's, I have to do math now off the top of my head. 34 points in 22 road games. That's outstanding.
Well, looking at that away record, that's one of the best away records in the entire Western Conference. What about the East? Not as good as some of the ones in the East. New Jersey is 18-2-1 away from home, but they're getting there.
Yeah, New Jersey still just baffles me that they're having the year that I was not expecting this from the Devils this season. I mean, they're a point behind Carolina coming into play. And I know some of that's Carolina's gone in a little bit of a slide. You know, they've only got 7 points in their last 10 games. They're in a little bit of a slide here. But New Jersey just all season has been ridiculous. But yeah and the second
better than they normally have any right to be.
Right. But Seattle's the second best road record in the NHL.
Yeah.
You know, they've got
talk about a good sophomore showing.
Indeed. I'm going to further torture myself here. So they've got 16 wins on the road. That's better. That's more wins than 4 teams in the West have total this season. That's, you know, they have 16 road wins. Arizona has 13 wins. Chicago has 11 wins. San Jose and Anaheim have 13 and 12 wins respectively. You know, that's total home and road combined. Looking in the East, Columbus only has 13 wins total.
They got almost more wins than my Red Wings do. Red Wings only have 18. Mm-hmm. And what do we say? Seattle's at 16 road?
Right, 16 on the road. You know, it's startling looking at that too, because the Kraken, you'd almost rather have to go to face them at this point. They're 10-9-2 at home.
Yeah, that's about 500 almost.
You know, yeah, that's barely above 500 at home. So the Seattle Kraken coming up and just absolutely having some fantastic games. And, of course, the perfect road trip capped by, of course, beating my Blackhawks.
Oh. Do you want me to play the World's Smallest Violin for you?
Play the what?
Do you want me to play the World's Smallest Violin for you?
Yeah, go right ahead. Go right ahead. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Well, I was excited. Thursday, I mean, just my Red Wings were in 4th place, and now only a couple days later, they're, 6th? I'm like, dang it.
And
what a difference less than a week can make.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is remarkable how much things can change. You know, the other thing with Seattle, staying with the Kraken for a little bit here, that offense has picked up. They're averaging almost 4 goals a night. At 3.66 is what their average is right now. That's a full goal better than a season ago. The offense is just absolutely on fire for them. And it's not like I'm taking a look at their goaltending too. It's not like the goaltending's been bad. You know, Martin Jones, he's got a goals against average that is sub 3. His save percentage could be a little higher, but you know, he's not giving up too many goals. Some of that is he's not seeing a ton of shots, which, hey, sure, you know, it's a lot easier to prevent goals from going in if they're never making it to the net in the first place.
What's that Gretzky line? You miss 100% of the shots you never take. Well, it's the opposite. You save 100% of the shots that never make it to you.
Right, exactly. Oh, they just jumped up 1-0 on Edmonton too. So we've got a goal. Eberle got his converted the power play. So Seattle quickly up 1-0 in Edmonton tonight.
Very nice.
So definitely one to be keeping an eye on. So everybody's in action now. Nobody is finished yet. The Philly guys, they've got to be happy. I know they were doing right before us the Philly Sports Show. They were including their world famous Flyers minute in their show tonight. They've got to be happy. They're up 4-1 still. But just an impressive showing from Seattle here. Not only on that road trip, but the season as a whole, they have taken off. They're no longer looking like an expansion team. Are we ready to take that qualifier off of them, do you think? Are they ready to just be considered a full-fledged NHL team, or are they still an expansion team, you think?
Wow. I don't know, what kind of qualifications have we used to get rid of that tag in the past? I mean, do they have to make the playoffs?
Well, I mean, Vegas lost it pretty much immediately because they made the Cup final their first year.
Well, yeah, they were definitely the exception to the rule.
Yeah, that was quick. That was unrealistic expectations for everybody else then after that.
Yeah. How long were Minnesota and Columbus considered expansion teams? Because they were the next most recent ones outside Vegas and Seattle, right?
I think you're right on that. We'll have to. I tell you what, I'll look that up over the break. We will do a little research there on that over the break if we need to. We might come back to it next week. But that's a good thought process there. What do we need to do to take the tag off of Seattle, if you will, and say, hey, they're no longer the expansion team. They're now the team, and they're just an NHL team ready to roll. Hit us up in the chat or hit us up on Twitter, too, on your guys' thoughts on that. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we've got just more stuff from around the NHL. Speaking of Vegas, one of their former goalies had some rather surprising news from over the week. We will discuss that next. You are listening to The Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Are you a fan of Buffalo sports? Are you thinking of changing loyalties and becoming a Buffalo sports fan? Do you even know where Buffalo is on the map? Did you know Canada is closer to Buffalo than New York City? Welcome to the Buffalo Huddle, every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Coast Time on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I'm your host, Patty Bax. This is a podcast designed for you, the passionate sports fan. I know you love your sports. Who doesn't? I cover Buffalo sports and so much more by bringing in the human elements. I call it Buffalo sports with a twist. Join me as we take a journey into the world of Buffalo sports. I guarantee you'll fall in love with Buffalo just like I did. Each week we start with an inspiration, question of the day, a Buffalo fun fact, and our weekly challenge to you, the listener. Come huddle up with me. Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Coast Time for the Buffalo Huddle with Patty Bax on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. As we say in Buffalo, go Bills!
Motorsports takes many forms, and there's one show on IE Sports Radio that's ready to cover it all.
I sure hope you're talking about you and I, Daryl, because I know the Extra Mile is the best place to go for everything motorsports related.
Yes, it is. From NASCAR to IndyCar to sports cars to everything in between, IE Sports Radio has everything covered for the fastest sport in the world.
Plus, don't forget all of our random shenanigans along the way.
That's right, Caitlin. So for plenty of motorsports coverage and plenty of Caitlinisms, check out the Extra Mile on IE Sports Radio with Daryl Kinsey Jr. and Caitlin Seen, Thursdays at 8 p.m.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Rate, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy, awesome white tea. We are coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And welcome back into the neutral zone, hockey fans. Gosh, I love that drop. The gloves off. Marcus Losgreat, he is back. He is back, ladies and gentlemen. You can catch Marcus Losgreat breaking down all things in the world of boxing and MMA every Wednesday night here on IE Sports Radio. All right, so we talked a lot about the Kraken in that first segment there. The other expansion team, the slightly older expansion team that, dropped its expansion status pretty much instantaneously. The Las Vegas Golden Knights, there was some news about them, about one of their former players. Zach, get us up to speed here on Robin Lehner.
Vegas Golden Knights goalie Robin Lehner files for bankruptcy in Nevada, cites $50 million in debt. Whew. Vegas Golden Knights goaltender Robin Lehner and his wife have filed for bankruptcy in Nevada, citing up to $50 million in debt to dozens of creditors. Chapter 7 bankruptcy filing offers a glimpse into the couple's financial problems, including money owed to no fewer than 50 people and companies.
Oh, so $1 million per.
What's that?
So $1 million per.
Oh, yeah, right.
I could.
Vegas Review Journal reported.
I can do that math. That's easy math.
Yeah, exactly. Filed for bankruptcy December 30th, months after a Wisconsin company sued Lehner for $4 million, claiming the NHL player and his father failed to make any payments last year on a business loan. Let's see. His business in January last year had agreed to a 4-year repayment plan with Eclipse Service out of Wisconsin, but missed its first 5 payments, leading the Wisconsin company in late June of 2022 to sue the Lehners in U.S. District Court in Milwaukee. Lehners' debt. Oh, here we go. You're going to love this. Lehners' debt also included missed payments for a collection of rare snakes he purchased for $1.2 million in 2017. Lehner keeps the snakes at his reptile farm in Plato, Missouri.
Snakes?
Snakes.
How do you spend $1.2 million in snakes?
I know, right?
I don't know. How expensive is a snake? I never had snakes as pets as a kid. As we actually speak, how appropriate we're talking about Vegas. Our Vegas host, Cale Henderson, just jumped into the chat. Cale, have you ever bought... How much have you ever spent on a snake, Cale? I'm having a hard time here understanding how you spend $1.2 million in snakes. How many snakes do you suppose he had then, Zach?
Well, they're not just snakes; they're rare snakes, and he has a reptile farm, so could be quite a few.
All right. Whoa. Wow, that's
My
a lot
question
of...
is, how did they get to him? Did they put the snakes on a plane?
Boo. Boo.
You're welcome.
I suppose that was...
Donna estimate their assets are worth up to $10 million. Lehner, who's 31, signed a 5-year, $25 million contract with the Knights back in 2020. But he has spent the current season recovering from hip surgery.
Cale chimes in the chat that the guy's a weirdo, probably a serial killer. I'm waiting. Okay, so we had the documentary over shutdown of the Tiger family.
Tiger King.
Yeah. Are we now gonna? I want to see the Netflix special of the Snake Wrangler here, starring Robin Lehner. I want to see this.
The Snake Sultan.
Ooh, I like it.
Or it's like that James Bond movie where the guy's got like the crocodile arm, only this is like reptile and other snakes.
Anyway, that's a dangerous rabbit hole we could wind up finding ourselves in.
So if he's a serial killer, does he feed victims to the snakes?
Well, I mean, okay. All right, I'm a Sherlock Holmes guy, so the first thing that pops into my mind then is the Sherlock Holmes story where somebody was using a snake to kill people. So yeah, sure, we'll run with it.
Or like Voldemort and the Basilisk.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, the Basilisk or the Adventure of the Speckled Band. Oh yeah.
Adventure of the what?
The Adventure of the Speckled Band. That's the Sherlock Holmes one.
Oh, this is Sherlock Holmes. What? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the Sherlock Holmes story. Is the Speckled Band.
Ah, gotcha. What is Vegas's mascot again? Is it a snake or is it a salamander or gecko?
No,
what is it?
No. It's a golden knight. You know, it's the. Remember, he goes out there at the beginning of every game and literally fights the mascot of the other team.
No. I know that, but like the guy with the foam helmet though, isn't there like a like Gritty, their version of Gritty?
Oh.
There was those socks I sent you with all the different hockey mascots on them, and he was on there. He looks like a salamander or something.
All right, now I got to go digging.
Here, you go on to the next one. I'll look it up.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, we'll keep this. We'll keep this moving. Boy, we were going really great there in that first segment. Now all of a sudden we've just wow, you know.
Got it. His name is Chance, and he's a Gila monster.
Say that again. I heard an echo, and I definitely heard something different than what you said.
His name is Chance, and he's a Gila monster, like related to Komodo dragons or whatever.
Okay. See, I heard you say. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I heard you say a tequila monster, which is something else entirely.
If only. The team opted against using a knight for a mascot because it found that knight mascots used by other teams were not very child-friendly, apparently.
Ah. Oh, Kale's getting in on this, too. He would be extracting different variations of venom to sedate his victims, then using different ones, then to finish them off. Now that is detailed and thought out. The different variations then help decomposition. Ooh.
So he extracts the poisons, and then he does what to finish them off?
You'd use one to sedate, another to finish them off, and then a third version to help decompose the body. Now that, yeah. That's putting some thought into this. Kale, I'm actually now a little worried.
I just want to know if Chance is on the reptile farm, too. That's all. That's all I want to know.
But still, I mean, $50 million bankruptcy is never fun. Never a fun situation to find yourself in. Oh, never mind. We're all good. Gail just put in the chat. What happens in Vegas? ...
Oh, here. This was all about Chance. He's not a dinosaur. He's not a gecko, or a yellow version of the Thing from the Fantastic Four.
Good to know. I'm glad they made that distinction.
I know, right? Oh my God. I digress.
They had me worried there for a moment. I was really thinking.
Oh, I thought he was going to say, it's clobbering time or something.
Yep. All right, so we will move on from that kind of silly story to, unfortunately, one that's a little more serious. Wayne Gino Odjick, who is probably best known for playing for the Vancouver Canucks. He was a member of the 1990 draft class, played 12 seasons in the NHL for the Canucks, the Islanders, Flyers, and the Canadiens. But he's best known and remembered, and he always considered himself to be a Canuck. Unfortunately, passed away last week. He was diagnosed with, my sister's going to be rolling at me. I did practice this. Amyloidosis, a disease which attacked his organs and his heart, and it is pretty much always fatal. Doctors informed him back in 2014 that he could have anywhere from weeks to years to live, managed to live very nearly 9 years with it. But Gino Odjick passed away at 52. He was best known as an enforcer for the Canucks. The Canucks released the following statement. Gino was a fan favorite from the moment he joined the organization, putting his heart and soul into every shift on and off the ice. He inspired many and embodied what it means to be a Canuck. Personally, he was a close friend and confidant, someone I could lean on for advice and support. He will be deeply missed. That's Francisco Aquilini, who is the chairman and governor of the Vancouver Canucks. So, a sad day. Gino Odjick passed away. He was 52, would have turned 53 this year with the Canucks. 64 goals, 73 assists in 605 NHL games. He did win the Stanley Cup in 94. Excuse me, they did not win. They lost to the Rangers that year, I'm sorry. But he was part of the team that was in that 7-game series. He holds the dubious distinction of the most penalty minutes in Vancouver Canucks franchise history, 2,127 penalty minutes.
Oh, no.
Oh, I mean, when you're an enforcer, hey, it's your job to get in the sin bin at least once a game.
Yeah, it's true.
So, sad day for all hockey fans, especially in Vancouver, though. So stick taps all around for the Odjick family there. All right. We should take ourselves another quick break and kind of reset here before we finish everything off. So that's what we'll do. We'll take another look around the scores before we get out of here. And then speaking of scores, we have got a couple of doozies from collegiate hockey from over the weekend that we'll discuss a little bit next. You are listening to the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
What's up, everybody? This is Taryn Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunder Spikes? Then I have the show for you. Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
college football? And do you want to hear a college football show dedicated to all that is college football, including junior college and the CCCAA and the NJCAA, the NAIA, and the NCAA, including Division III, Division II, Division I AA in the FCS, and Division I Single A in the FBS? Well then, look no further. Join myself, Larry B., and my colleagues, Mr. H-Town Blake Henley, and Mr. Christian Espinoza each week during the college football season for the latest in college football on 3 and Out College Edition right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Davidson.
It's your boy, Dentarius Lava.
And we are the hosts of Fast Break here on IE Sports Radio, where we discuss everything in the world of basketball from prep to the pros.
You guys should definitely check us out, man. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We got all the basketball information you guys need, so we look forward to you guys listening in.
And please do, because we are the best basketball show on this side of the Mississippi. And please do check us out on Twitter at FastBreakISR. D-Lock, where's our time again?
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That give you guys plenty of time on a Sunday.
Tune in.
Hello, ladies and sinners. Hello, sports fans around the world. Hello, IE Sports family. This is Cale Henderson, the host of IE Vegas, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio. If you folks are interested in sports in the Vegas area, if you're wanting to have a blast for 1 hour every Tuesday night from 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, this is a show built for the Vegas sports fans, where we feature the Las Vegas Raiders, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, the Las Vegas Aces, and the University of Las Vegas, Nevada Rebels. Hopefully, fingers crossed, MLB team coming soon. Either way, if you folks are looking to have a blast for 1 hour each and every week, tune in Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you folks are interested in Vegas sports news, go to our Twitter, at SinCities_IESR, and you can speak with me, the host, Cale Henderson, at Cale_Henderson on Twitter. At any time, be happy to reply. Always want to reach out to our fans. Again, the Sin City Sports Show, presented by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And welcome back into the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio. Adam and Zach back with you for one more segment here before we turn things over to Cale Henderson of Sin City Sports. I'm sure he's going to be breaking down some of the Las Vegas Golden Knights. They've got the night off tonight. They are next in action. Well, everybody in the league. Good God. Have you looked at Thursday's schedule yet, Zach?
No, I haven't. Let me look.
Okay, you count. I'll talk. You count. My God, everybody's playing on Thursday, I think.
Holy Jesus.
Anyway, Cale Henderson is coming on right after us with Sin City Sports. I'm sure he'll be talking some of his Vegas Golden Knights as well as his Las Vegas Raiders. Before we do a wrap-up of some of the NHL scores, as we do have some games that have gone final. We've got another one that is headed for overtime. We've got to dip into the college realm just ever so slightly here. Out in Lake Placid, New York right now, we have the FISU World University Games. If you're going, what? The what? Basically, it's a collegiate version of Olympics. They have summer and Olympic games, and it's college-aged players. And in the wintertime, we have ice hockey. On Sunday, both the men's and women's teams took on Great Britain. Now, if your first reaction is, I didn't know Great Britain had a national team, ding, 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 congratulations. You're one step already closer to understanding just what happened on Sunday. Listen to these scores. We'll start with the closer of the two first. On the men's side, the United States won 15-1. That was the closer of the two games by a country mile, because the women beat Great Britain 21-0 in the FISU women's hockey tournament. 21-0, 3 touchdowns in a hockey game. What's the most goals you've seen in a hockey game, Zach? What, off the top of your head, what can you think of? You know, what's a lot to you?
Maybe 15.
You've seen a 15-goal game?
I'm sorry?
You've seen a 15-goal game?
Well, like 8 to 7, like one of those really high-scoring barn burners.
Okay, I got you. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, that Edmonton had last year in the playoffs. Yes, you're right. Yeah, that did go like 9-6 was the final. So you're right. Okay, never mind.
Like a couple of those Edmonton Calgary games were just like, oh my gosh, there was no defense whatsoever.
Yes, you're right.
Where were you going with it?
I was just, the first ones that came up to my head was like, okay, 6 or 7 is a lot for one team to put up in a game.
Yeah.
But you're right. I actually, and now that I think about it for another second, I did see a game where the Blackhawks put up 10.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was against Pittsburgh. That was a barn burner.
Must have been a down year for Pittsburgh.
They were on the second half of a back-to-back celebrating their cup final the year before, and they were jet-lagged, tired, started their backup goalie. Backup goalie didn't even last a period, so they had to put in the guy that had played the night before. Yeah, it got ugly.
Oof.
But
this was a year after Pittsburgh's cup?
Right. So it was, 4 months after Pittsburgh had won the cup in June. This was an October game. So, it was right after they had won the cup.
Oh, gosh. Was it 09 or 16-17?
No, this would have been 16-17.
Okay, gotcha.
But 21 goals.
That's outrageous.
That's just... you basically... I would imagine you stop kind of celebrating after 8, And you're just... Okay, I scored. Back to the bench. Here we go. Drop the puck. Let's just keep this thing moving. Let's just keep this moving along now. Refs don't bother calling any penalties unless it's blatant. Let's just...
Like I said in the break, it's like the hockey equivalent of the college football championship game we just watched, 65-7. Like, Where's the mercy rule?
Exactly. Just, we know what's going on here. Let's just let this end. Let this die. Let this be done.
What's that Simpsons gift? Stop it, he's dead already.
Mercy. He's done. They're done. Speaking of done, we have some finals here in the NHL now. The Canadiens beat the Jets 4-1. The Flyers beat the Ducks 5-2. The Wild handled the Capitals 4-2. And in overtime, Toronto handled Florida 5-4. Who got the winner in that one, since that just went final? William Nylander got the game winner. He also tied the game late in the third. He tied the game up. Early in the third. I was reading the clock backwards. So William Nylander got the game tying and game winner.
Back, wasn't it?
What's that?
Wasn't that Austin Matthews' first game back?
No, he came back. Whoops. That's not going to be very helpful. I want to say he came back over the weekend.
Yeah. Sorry. Matthews returned, scores 21st. The Maple Leafs lost to the Bruins.
There we go.
That was Saturday night. My bad.
There we go. You were right though that it was close. It was not that long ago that he was back. Yeah. So some games have gone final. Some other games that are going on. Sabres are beating the Blackhawks. Moving on. They're about to start the third period in Nashville. The Predators are up 2-0. The Red Wings and the Coyotes tied at 0. The Red Wings 17 shots in the first period there. Wow. The Coyotes goalie there, Connor Ingram, 17 saves in the first period. Wow. Way to go there, Ingram. And then they are about to drop the puck in the second period in Edmonton. The Kraken and the Oilers are tied at 1 apiece. Seattle, only 7 shots. They got the very early goal on the power play. And then, quick, guess who scored to tie it for Edmonton?
Connor McDavid?
Ding, ding, ding. You know, he's only on pace for 200 points this year. 13 shots. What's that? What's that?
I said, what do I win?
You avoid getting the dunce cap for the night.
Woo!
I saw a stat for them the other night in their last game before this. After a period, they were on pace for 70 shots.
Oh, my gosh.
That's just... You need 3 goalies. You need a different goalie each period just because the other guy gets bruised and battered by the end of the period with how many shots he's facing.
Right.
So as we whip around the league real quickly here, and Kale was asking when he first jumped in there, are we surprised about Seattle at all? I am surprised. I am definitely surprised with where they're at. I know we talked about that at the top of the show. I am very pleasantly surprised by Seattle, and I want to pull up. How have they done? I know they just won their last time in Edmonton. They're 1-1 with Edmonton on the season. After tonight, they've got one more matchup with Edmonton. It's in Seattle here in a couple of months, about 2 months from tonight in March. They'll play again. That's got to be a Saturday. The puck drops at 1:00 in the afternoon Pacific time. That's got to be a Saturday then. They wouldn't do that. Not even the NHL's that stupid.
But yeah, I'm with you. I'm surprised as well. Like after how well Vegas did in their first year. I was expecting Seattle to do better last year, not be in like last place. But I wouldn't have expected them to be second place in their division either. I expect them to be like right in the middle this year. So, yeah, good on them.
Yeah, and I mean, for Kale, yes, the Golden Knights are doing really well, but I mean, don't look now. I mean, objects in rearview mirror are closer than they appear. Seattle is only 2 points back, and their goal differential is not insignificantly better than Vegas's. Vegas is a plus 17 in goal differential right now. Seattle's plus 25. And that's best in the division by a good stretch. Vegas is the next closest. And it's not that far off in the West. Now you get into the East and Boston's stupid. Boston's goal differential is plus 72 to this point. But also, I mean, Boston's only lost 5 games in regulation all season. So you've got that going for them.
Yeah, true.
So, all right. Well, speaking of Kale, we need to get out of here so that we can make room for him to do his show. That's going to do it for our show here tonight. Thank you for hopping on in and spending an hour of your time with us. We hope that we informed a little bit, maybe educated a little bit. We certainly hope that we entertained you at the very least for an hour. Thank you very much for coming and spending time with us. Thank you also to our Patreon supporters, Bay Area Raised, Emlos Great, Key to the Gate, and Anonymous. If you wish to support us on Patreon, you are more than welcome to do so. Starts at just $5 a month. Go to our website, iesportsradio.com. The Patreon link is right there. Hop on in. You can help us out. Big thank you to Larry B., the president and czar of IE Sports Radio. All the hard work he does behind the scenes, keeping this thing moving in the right direction. Thank you to Taryn and to Kale for hopping into the chat room with us tonight. Much appreciated, guys. Coming up right after us, of course, is Kale Henderson and Sin City Sports. Going to be talking all things Las Vegas, including the Las Vegas Golden Knights. For Zach Puplis, I am Adam Karnick. Together, we are the Neutral Zone. Next week, we'll have more scores and updates from around the NHL world. We'll see what news and highlights are coming up. The All-Star break is right around the corner. I'm sure we will have some updates of who might be representing their clubs in the NHL All-Star festivities. Until then, everybody be good. As always, stay out of the penalty box, light the lamp, don't get hit into the boards, and be sure to protect your 5-hole. We'll see you next week, everybody.